I'm listening to Justin Timberlake on stage, and he is about to sing Cry Me a River. Now, before he does this segment, he says something about Britney. Now, he's done this in future performances, and Britney's heard about it, but I have the tea. This is going to blow. This is going to make this episode.
Who's it going to blow?
No, this episode's going to blow because of this
Blow up.
conversation. Are you ready?
Shh, don't tell Mum.
Hello and welcome to
Shh, Don't Tell Mum. My name's Barney.
And I'm Jamie.
And this is the #1 parenting podcast in
Argentina!
It's Argentina. We practiced this before we went live and still messed up the name of the country.
Argentina.
Argentina.
I bet you it's
like
actually Argentina.
Tina.
I bet you're saying it wrong. It's like
there is no IA at the end.
Did
it's
you
just
know
A.
it's Tuesday, not Tuesday?
Yeah, you don't chew it, you to it. I don't know. I mean, but I guess that's an American thing.
Argentina.
It's Argentina. There's just an A at the end. There's no EA.
Argentina.
Argentina. Are you still getting it wrong?
Go down into the comments, guys, and make your mark.
No, there is no make it. I am correct. It is Argentina. Yeah?
Tomato
Agreed?
and tomato.
No, there ain't no tomato. There's just a tomato.
Tomato or tomato.
It is Argentina.
Okay, what else is there?
Huh?
Which?
And much like it is espresso, not espresso, it is
Potato,
Argentina.
Potato.
Not Argentina.
Okay then.
Yeah?
Good.
Talk me through the baguette lady look. What's happening?
Forget lady look.
Yeah.
I
you
know
look
how
like
I
you're
came
very
in with
French
you.
and look like 1960s French.
This is from Kangol, right?
Kangol. A
Kangol.
Kangol hat.
It's
You're wearing a Kangol hat.
I don't even know if Kangol exists anymore.
Yeah, it's the kangaroo, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Anyway, I bought this when I was 8 years old.
8.
8.
And it still fit. You have a pea head, don't you?
No, I do have a pea head.
You
I
have a
think
pea
it was
head.
my mum's actually. But it's amazing that it's lasted this long. It's got its little beret, guys, from Kangol. It's so old and it's lasted a very long time. I keep things that last.
We've got like a grey scenario going on right now. What's happening? I'm very white, you're very grey.
Yeah, so this is a sweater because I felt a bit cold this morning. And this is a new Sandro. We went to the Sandro sample sale the other day and had a great time there, didn't we, darling?
We did.
Walked
It was
in.
a little bit too enticing. We could have spent thousands in
We
there.
literally could have spent thousands.
But we didn't.
Put it on social media, guys. Check it out on TikTok. But it was a brilliant friggin' day. What did you get? You got these awesome
I got
trousers.
these jeans actually. Yeah, these jeans are one of the purchases, which I love. Basically, to put it into perspective, a sample sale is like when it's a hefty amount off because it's essentially stuff that they just can't shift. So these jeans would have been like £350 and they knocked them down to 60.
And you bought a suit.
I bought a suit. I bought 2 jackets. Like, that's great. I bought the kind of expensive items that you would typically buy at a store, like a one-off purchase, because those things, A, last longer, and B, it's the best value because some of the jackets they have at Sandro are like thousands and they knocked it down to like 200 quid for a jacket.
Yeah, I bought 2. I bought a black jacket, which I really needed, and I bought a fur jacket because I lost my fur jacket on the plane.
Well, it's like a wool. It's not fur, it's wool. But yeah.
Yeah.
Don't tell people it's fur. Gonna get shouted
Oh,
at.
for goodness sake. And guess
Speaking of
what?
getting shouted at.
What?
What's new with Rokit, Jamie?
What's new with Rokit? He is speaking a lot. So much so. But then he's having his temper tantrum where he'll throw himself on the floor and bang his head. This morning,
he does bang his head
he was
all the
throwing
time.
himself on the floor and he went, doom. And I didn't notice and I just ignored him. So he went and he lifted his head up and then he did it again. And I was like...
So it's a getting attention thing, banging his head.
It is.
So
He did
maybe
it
we
the other
need
day.
to not
Where
give him
were we?
attention.
And you were like, oh my God, not that floor. You're going to really
Because
hurt
it's
yourself.
concrete. Yeah, it was at the farm that we went to the other day. We went to like a little petting zoo the other day, which was really fun, really exciting. He loved it. We saw the pigs, we saw the Shetland ponies, we saw chickens and stuff. But when he threw a tantrum, which he inevitably was going to, he's a toddler, he threw a little, a little hissy fit.
Can you believe we have a toddler?
And when he fell back, he then goes like, ugh, to try and just
So dramatic.
accentuate his grief with life. And when he did, it was onto tarmac. So he went, bonk. And I was like, oh my God,
and then
no.
he went, ah! And then he hurt himself even more.
So one thing that I did want to say about what's new with Rokit is kids say the darndest things, don't they? Because we were joking around in the car. Jamie has, funnily enough, for those of you that don't realize this already, Jamie is a very happy-go-lucky, loves a bit of the goss, like very nice. But underneath those onions, underneath those layers, those external shells, lies a dark sense of humor. Jamie sometimes just comes out with the most outrageous shit you've ever heard in your life. And it's so left field that I love it because it hits you when you least expect it.
Have you met my parents? I mean, everybody on the podcast has met my parents now.
Everyone has met your parents. We've all met your parents. We all know. So be that as it may, we get in the car and we're driving Rokit to nursery one morning. And this is about 2 days ago. And
it was yesterday.
It was yesterday. Cool. Yeah.
Bearing in mind, let me stop you there for a second. Over Christmas, a couple of years ago, my mum and me, like an ongoing joke is we think my mum's obsessed with death because she always, if somebody dies, she's like, who died? She gets really
she loves the goss when it comes to people that have like famous people that have died. Yeah.
Like I told her yesterday, I was like, oh my God, Prince Charles has cancer. Prince Charles has cancer. What cancer does he have? And
by the way, Jamie's mum doesn't get pleasure out of this. She just likes a gossip.
Anyway, so there was a moment during Christmas one year where my phone had died and I was like, oh, it died. And she was falling asleep on the sofa. She'd heard that comment and she woke up and she went, who died? Like it was the biggest
It's like
gossip.
She rose from the dead. And was like, who died?
Yeah. Anyway, since then, it's been an ongoing thing where, like, if we're watching TV and she'll be like, "That person's dead now. That person's dead now. That person's dead." Like it's so much. So her name is Cece, and Barney. What did Rokit do?
That's her grandma name. She didn't want to be called grandma, so we settled for Cece. So Rokit loves whenever he leaves the house because he thinks he's going to Cece's. He goes like Cece and like runs out. Anyway, we're in the car and Rokit, for some reason, just goes, Cece, in the back of the car. And Jamie, as a joke, goes, oh no, Rokit, Cece died. Just as a joke. Not thinking that it would have this much of an effect. And then Rokit starts repeating Jamie.
He goes, Cece died.
Cece died. And we go, oh no. Cece's not dead, Rokit. Cece's not dead. So now he's proceeded to continue with this. And now he just keeps saying Cece died.
Rokit, we've just got to school, okay? You've got school now. And he goes, help. And then finally I get him out of the car and we're walking in and Barney's got him in his arms and I'm walking ahead and all I'm hearing is, Cece died. To all the teachers. The teachers are like, who's Cece? Who died? And I'm just like, oh my God.
We had to then shamefully admit to his teachers what had happened in the car.
Cece has not died.
Cece's not died. We were making a joke. It's backfired and we didn't realise he'd repeat us all day. So we're really sorry about that. And I just got an awkward look from the headmistress of the nursery.
Everything we mentioned, even this morning. So this morning I had the worst night's sleep last night because I chopped off half my fingernail. And the throbbing and pain I have been in. Anyway, Rokit comes into bed with us this morning and I sit up and I'm like, oh, fuck. And he goes... I'm like, oh, flip. And then what do I say? I said,
Fiddlesticks?
No, I said, damn it afterwards. Oh, damn it. And then he started saying, damn it. And
they're literally like a parrot at this point, right?
Jesus. I said, Jesus. That was it.
And he's like, Jesus.
Yeah.
Oh, gee.
So he's saying, Jesus. And I'm like, oh, dear Lord.
Gee, all right.
That's what he was saying.
Editor's going to have a field day with this episode already. Holy
Speaking
guacamole.
of swearing.
Go on.
Friggin' the morning show, the best show we're watching at the moment. We've just finished season 3 and season 4 apparently is coming out in March. But there is a bit where he, one of the guys goes on live television and swears.
Oh yeah, he does.
And then he goes, don't worry guys, I'll spend the 10,000, I'll pay the £10,000 fine. And then he went, you know what, fuck. And he just goes into one, doesn't he? Unleashes, says all these swear words in the space of like 2 minutes. Probably cost them about £250,000.
I guess that's the first time that we've actually sat down and really got into a show together in a while.
Yeah.
Like, the morning show has been actually really good. And it's got multiple seasons, so we got really into it. And I dipped in and out a little bit because there were points in season 2 and points in season 3 that slowed down a bit. But as a whole, I think the morning show has been really good.
Yeah, because I mean, me and you don't have the best of like similar taste.
Yeah, commonality between mine and your taste in shows is very different. I quite like the fantastical stuff, so Lord of the Rings, Game of Thrones, like those kind of typical ones. Jamie could not think of anything worse.
I hate it. I hate it.
Name me 3 characters from the Lord of the Rings series.
Gollum.
Yeah.
Frodo.
Yeah.
And the guy with the beard, what is his name? No. TikTok.
No, that's a clock counting you down.
Oh, okay. It's like, is his name TikTok?
Gandalf is who you're thinking of.
Yes, but I did well there,
Or
actually.
Treebeard, or Aragorn. They've all got bloody beards.
No, to be honest, I liked Lord of the Rings when I was younger, and it was something me and my dad always watched together, and we watched Star Wars together and stuff. But as I've grown up, I just remember it being such a long movie.
She was banging on, by the way, when we first kind of met, started dating. Jamie started banging on about how, like, oh yeah, I love Star Wars. No, and then a new Star Wars film came out, and I was like, right, let's go watch it. And she was like, I don't watch that shit. I was like, oh, were you just like enticing me this entire time? Like, yeah, I watch all the mystical shit. Yeah, I love it.
So does my jaw look different? I'm having jaw work done at the moment.
What do you mean you're getting jaw work
I'm
done?
getting KC facials, which is
What
like...
is it?
So
Talk me through it, 'cause
it's
you're
like
talking
this
about it.
infrared machine thing, and it goes on and it goes bang, 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 bang. And it's not injections or anything like that.
Okay.
It's basically to stop your skin aging instead of having Botox.
Okay.
I'm taking a leap of faith here with this Casey facial. Anyway, the place we live near are doing deals at the moment for £20 to do your chin. So I've started doing my chin because I noticed on the podcast I have a little wrinkle on my chin.
Do you know what I mean? Like, women look at she looks at it and it's like, she finds one wrinkle and goes like, I need to iron out that wrinkle. I just can't believe it's like one wrinkle, Jamie.
Yeah, I know. And I saw a TikTok the other day, and it was a woman posting about all those people that slated me having Botox at the age of 19, and now look at me, and she's like 35. And I said, good point.
It is. It's a preventative. It's not unless you get a facelift. Getting Botox is a preventative to stop you from actually producing wrinkles, right? So the longer you can wait before you actually start doing stuff to yourself is better. But when it comes to Botox, it's actually better if you start younger.
Well, I think also when
it's a weird one, isn't it?
We're having obviously the loomy eyes at the moment because we're parents that are very tired.
The most terrifying thing I've ever done.
I don't know about you guys, but I think we're going to get our aesthetics doctor on at some point, and she's going to talk about, the treatments that you can have during pregnancy, after pregnancy, if you're a retired parent. Those things interest me because at the end of the day, like, age is gonna happen at some point, but it's like, how do you age gracefully with work that doesn't look like you've had work done?
Yeah. Aging gracefully, I think, is easier for men, isn't it? We can kind of embrace the wrinkles a bit more.
Do you think?
If I had to get anything done, imagine I just like rocked up like the next day with just like a 11-inch schlong and was like, there you go. That's what I got done.
Basically, Barney doesn't have an 11-inch schlong. It's a lot smaller than that, guys.
Oh, a lot. That was unnecessary.
I don't even know what 11 inches is.
Huh?
I don't even know what 11 inches is. That
don't
like
know
the
exactly.
size of a ruler?
I don't either. But I will. I'll let you know.
A ruler is 7 inches, right?
A ruler's 12. A ruler's 12 inches.
Okay.
Yeah, madam. So anyway, aside from that, TikTok turn-off for the week. Do you have a TikTok turn-off for this week, madam?
I did, and I can't remember what we were talking about.
That's
the
a
other day.
really good story, you know. You can possibly add that to the podcast and people
really?
would really appreciate
You're going to be an asshole all your life. You know
Maybe.
what? Today, he turned around. Normally, we plan the podcast and we produce it together. Today, he was like, this with his phone, laughing, sniggling, looking up, and then going, and typing things. And I said to him, I was like, oh, am I not involved in these 2 episodes that we're going to record today?
It's because you just copy my notes. Come up with something original. You copy my notes before every time.
I came up with I wanted to talk about gaslighting, and you were like, "We can't talk about gaslighting on the podcast," because I think it's an interesting topic at the moment. It's a trending word, gaslighting. You know that at the moment. Talking about TikTok turn-offs.
You know when someone just like asks, like, "Should we do this?" and it's just like the worst thing they could possibly recommend to talk about on a podcast. I want to talk about gaslighting for an entire podcast. That's just a bit ridiculous, isn't it? Here we go. She's going to say I'm gaslighting her. Go on.
This is gaslighting.
Oh, and here we go.
Anyway, he used that once in an argument. He went, I feel like I'm being gaslighted. And I actually was mortified about that comment, wasn't I?
Me.
I wasn't gaslighting.
You're making me think that I was mental.
No, I wasn't. You were mental.
See? She's doing it again. No, let's not see. This is why you don't do an episode of gaslighting. So, right, TikTok turn off of the week. You don't have one, so I will jump in and have one. Something that I've seen on TikTok.
One.
Oh my gosh.
Sorry. I do have one.
Okay, go on then.
Okay, so it's that comedian
Matt Rife.
No.
Okay. Chris Rock.
No, I did an episode with him for Take Flight. What was his name?
Russell Kane.
Russell Kane.
Yeah.
So, Russell Kane recently posted a TikTok about people nowadays who he was just like, are we Gen Zs? I mean, what's the generation right now?
Who we are.
Who are trending on social media, like the 20-year-olds.
So Gen Z and Gen Alpha are like teenagers.
Okay, so Gen Zs, he goes, the Gen Z conversations of what you have when you're over 25 is like, I'm doing this new like ice bath thing, or and I know we are suckers for that as well.
Damn right.
But it's honestly so funny because every time I see something now of somebody talking about wellness or, gaslighting is one thing he also says on there as well. It's such a funny TikTok and it's so true. It kind of has given me the ick.
Okay, so Gen Z conversation topics are giving you the ick.
Right, I'll get it for you so you can actually hear it on the podcast.
You're not explaining it well.
I can't explain things properly, can I?
You have a podcast. You need to be able to explain things well.
Well, I'm going to show it to you now so you understand where I'm coming from.
Go on then.
Dinner. It's going to be cool, man.
Here we go.
Yeah, exactly. Air fryer. Chia seed pudding. Air fryer. I know. Overnight oats. Overnight, yeah. Gluten-free oats, yeah. Steel cut, low blood sugar. I know. Zoe patch. Blood sugar. Overnight oats. Air fryer. I know. Chia seed pudding. Chia seed. I know. It spikes the insulin. Evidence is there. No meat. Lottie, yeah, gone carnivore. Liver meats. Uncooked liver meats. The evidence is there. I know. Glycogen. Air fryer. Chia seed pudding. Vegan meat reducing.
Okay, I get it. It's great.
So planning dinner with friends in 2024 or having a conversation in 2024.
No. Can't say anything now. You can't say...
This is having a conversation in 2024, 65 years and edition.
Yeah. Can't say what you really want to say. I know. Can't say... It was a laugh. It was a fucking laugh. Can't say anything. It was a laugh.
So he's doing basically all these TikToks about having a conversation in 2024 between... Okay, here we go. This is the one I wanted to show you.
God.
Wait, hang on.
Everyone has gone to... We're now number 10 in Argentina.
Right, can I just play you this last thing? Right, this is what I mean. This is the one I was referring to. Okay, you ready? This is having a conversation in 2024 with the 28 to 49-year-old edition, okay? Doesn't work.
Yeah.
So.
Hey, Leo, bro, what's happening? Yeah, I earth myself, feet on the floor, earth. Meditate. Doing breath work, exactly. Just be more mindful. Well, yeah, why can't people do that? Sick of it. Gaslighted. Meditate. Breath work. I know. Meat reducing. Exactly. Just keep meat reducing. Earthed. Do your meditation. Do your breath work. Meat reduce. I know, mate. Boundaries. Gut health boundaries. I know. Gaslight or what? Exactly. Blessed. Gratitude. Meat reduce. Earthed. Cold plunge.
Thank you for your TikTok turn off, Jamie. It was fantastic. Thank you. Fucking hell, I'm never getting those 5 minutes back, ever. And neither is anyone listening.
Oh no, my plaster's come off of my fingernail.
Oh shit, here we go.
Oh no.
Here we go.
Guys,
we're going to talk about fingernails soon.
On the hour. I don't want to listen to your TikTok turn off. You turn me off. You are my TikTok turn off.
You don't want to listen to mine. What, is that because yours was so shit?
Mine is about... the Gen conversation of ice bath, Zoe patch. I know I'm a sucker for it because I've invested in it.
You literally have a Zoe patch.
We know what we realised the other day, guys? We've subscribed to AG1. Don't know how we managed that. £150 per month. Barney woke up this morning going, £150 for AG1. Is that how much it is? I was like, we both had this discussion early January to do it. And he was just like, not for £150. And so we cancelled our subscription straight away. And I was like, you know what? That's typical.
It's a bloody green juice that you have in the morning. £150.
Mad, isn't it? How expensive that is.
It's a piss take, mate.
Anyway, if you want to sponsor us, AG1, we are here to be...
It's great. It's great, the stuff.
It's a little bit of a scatty episode today, isn't it?
It is a bit, isn't it? I wonder why it's scatty. You and your f***ing Kangol hat. Right. TikTok turn off. So, you know what? It's not actually really a turn off. It's just something I've seen on TikTok that I was like, what on earth
for you
is going on? the Grammys, right? Taylor Swift won a handful of Grammys, as she rightly should have, being essentially the most successful pop star in the world this year and probably years before. And again, someone went on stage and slated her.
No, they didn't.
No,
Who?
but they didn't climb on stage while she was accepting an award.
No, who
right?
was it?
This is what upset me about who it was. Jay-Z was on stage accepting an award. I don't know what for.
He's best friends with Beyonce, he's married to Beyonce, who's best friends with Taylor Swift. You do realise this?
Oh, I don't know. Because basically he went on stage and he said, how can you win 4 Grammys and not win Album of the Year? There's something that doesn't rack up. And I thought he was promoting Taylor by saying that, like she should have won Album of the Year. And then he said something like, the people that win these awards don't even belong in the category. And I was like, oh. And he's gunning for Taylor Swift. He's been horrible about her on stage. And I was like, can't she catch a fucking break? How much this girl works, how much effort she puts in, how many tickets she sells.
She's a bit
and then gets
awkward,
slated by people.
Yeah, but the industry is never like, look at the way Kanye treated her.
Yeah,
She's never, is it because she's really white?
I'm like, I don't know. Let's not make it about that. But I'm not a Swiftie. I'm not really a huge fan of hers. But, you know, give credit where credit's due. She worked her bloody arse off. The tour sold, you know, $800 million worth of tickets or something. So
she does have a very
her.
good album. Like that Red album was insane. That was my favorite album.
It's insane, honestly. Like, and I just feel bad. And seeing stuff on TikTok of people going like, "Yeah, she doesn't deserve it." I'm like, "No, I'm sorry, mate. She does actually." Like hard work pays off, and it kind of shows in spades with that. And I get pissed off when people just shit on other people for winning awards. I just don't understand why, like,
it's like Marmite. People either love her or hate her.
And I don't mind that, but don't publicly rip into her on stage while you're accepting an award.
Because Beyonce is her best friend.
I don't know if you're right in saying that.
Yes. Have you not seen her social media? Taylor Swift's social media.
Beyonce.
It's literally Beyonce. She's like such a big fan of Beyonce. They're always together.
Is she a fan or is she a friend?
And also when she did the big Taylor Swift tour video that came out, she did a greeting at the Grove and Beyonce was there with her in front row, sitting with her and like celebrating her, and it was really sweet.
Have you just fabricated a relationship between Taylor Swift and Beyonce?
If I had the internet right now, I would show you the footage,
but I don't. It's a good job you don't, you know? So I can actually take the lead, you know what I'm saying?
Sorry.
Anyway, so Jamie, what the f*** is going on with your finger? Talk to us. This is so ridiculous. Sorry.
Right,
Apologies,
yesterday, guys, I had an accident in the shower. I showered and I was shaving and I shaved my nail off the nail bed. I don't know how. I didn't even know that was a possible thing.
Picture this. Jamie's in the shower. She's using one hand to lift the skin under her pit.
Because I have massive tits.
All right. So she's holding the skin on her armpit up, and then she goes to shave the pit like that, and she goes across the top of her fingernail. So then I'm downstairs, you know, playing the new Suicide Squad game on PS5.
All he's been doing for the last 2 months, guys, is playing games.
It's really fun. And I hear, Barney. I'm like, I don't know if she's just asking me to do something, so I'm just going to ignore her. And then they're like, Barney. I'm like, oh, I don't think that this is going to be anything necessarily that's going to actually require me to go upstairs. And then they're like, Barney! And I'm like, all right, fine.
It took you 3 calls.
Yeah.
Imagine if I'd fallen
She's
over and I only had one call in
the
me.
corner of the shower, like, I'm like, what happened? She's like, I cut my nail. I was like, I'll grow up. And I walked out.
It was so painful. And I have a very high threshold in pain. Remember, I pushed my baby out without any drugs. So there's me with my finger on my nail, pushing down the pressure because I've literally cut it in half, shaved it off. Anyway, we managed to get out the shower, wrap it up. As the day goes on, it gets progressively worse, the pain. Anyway, 3 a.m. in the morning, I'm pacing up and down the bedroom, being like, my finger, I can't deal with the pain. Up there it hurts, down there it hurts, the left it hurts. And then I realised I was running out of painkillers. So I went and had 2 paracetamols and ibuprofen, and then I managed to get 4 hours sleep. But I woke up this morning and I was just like, oh my God, it really is.
When you took the plaster off this morning what does it look like?
It's just, there's like It's been shaved, so it's like black underneath the nail bed
Okay.
where the blood's underneath.
Are you okay now?
No.
How you feeling right now?
It hurts. Like, it actually hurts. I knocked it earlier as well with my glove.
I've like ripped a whole fingernail off before.
Yeah, but
And
this is weird. I've like gouged it. I've like literally got a nail. I've got a shaver and I've shaved the nail bed, the top of it off. Do you understand how painful that is?
Yeah, I do actually, because I slept next to you last night and all night it was like, oh my. She actually tried to convince me to go to hospital yesterday.
The throbbing.
Hospital.
The throbbing.
The throbbing.
It's so sore.
The throbbing.
I actually thought I was going to lose a finger at one point.
Jamie!
I did.
You've cut your nail.
And if you look at my history, the search I was on last night.
I can imagine.
Incredible.
Are you gonna live? Are you gonna be okay for next week's podcast?
Well, I don't know. I might have bled out by then.
Oh, okay.
I thought I'd caught an artery.
Something that's been annoying me for a few days. So I get to speak about a couple of things that have been biting me in the ass.
I'll tell you what's been annoying me for a few days.
No, it's all right. I'll carry on with my story. Thanks first. So the seat programming in the car is one thing that's really starting to piss me off.
Why?
So we have settings in our car that you can change
Western world
when
problems.
when you sit in the car. So Jamie sits in the car, she presses number 2, and number 2 changes the seat and the steering wheel to fit her size. When it's my turn, I can't get in the car to change the setting because you sit with your face up against the steering wheel and your chest up against the steering wheel. And I'm surprised you can even see over the dashboard.
When
so
I turn the
can't get
car
in.
off, it resets. It brings the chair down so
Doesn't
we can get out of the
reset because
car.
I can't even get in the car, Jamie. So it obviously doesn't reset, does
Well,
it?
then open the door, press the number before you get in then.
But your natural instinct is to get in a car when you open the door, right?
Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so tiny compared to
Do you know what I mean?
Maybe
Could
you should have had a
just
bigger wife.
have a better seat setting?
Why don't you just get a bigger wife? Yeah?
All right.
Good.
Anyone listening to this is on Bumble.
Have you noticed
I'll
we've
see
been
you
home
later.
for 2 months? We've been home for 2 months. He doesn't have a job, neither do I at the moment.
Next on the list,
Okay.
walking in on me while I'm sat on the toilet and saying, "It smells in here," is a bit of a bloody obvious statement, madam. You shouldn't be walking in on me on the toilet in the
should
first
really
place.
light a candle before.
And you know that I'm sitting on the toilet in there.
You stink. It like really stinks. Mine doesn't. And he
Eat
sits there
protein.
for hours. Hours. And I'm like, you're literally just sitting there sniffing your own shit.
It is the only time I get away from you
Just
in the day.
freaking, like, who would want to just sit in their stench of poo? I'm sorry. It's disgusting.
Some people feel that way about baths
It's
as well.
honestly the
Why
most
would you want to lay there in your
disgusting
own
thing.
filth?
The
Some people
fact.
say that.
So I'm kind of like trying to be like, will you hurry up, please? When we had our little
Just
flat
don't
in
walk
London,
in.
we had one toilet and he wasn't allowed to do that. And I remember when we bought the new place, he turned around and went, I can't wait to have unlimited poos and sit here for hours. Because
To all the guys listening to this, you know exactly where I'm coming from, by the way. So don't give me
Well,
any
I
of
hope
that.
you
No
the problem
judgment here.
is like you'll probably walk out and it's like on your clothes, the stench of your poo smell.
All right, mate. Calm
so-
down. You
just so
don't
you're
exactly
aware.
smell like roses over there.
Yeah, I freaking do.
Sheesh kebabs. Right, next thing. Love Island gossip. So, funnily enough, me and you don't watch a Love Island. We never really have. I maybe have seen one season out of all of them.
Yeah.
But you were telling me the other day that actually, funnily enough, it's almost like we're watching Love Island, all the clips that just pop up on TikTok,
They've
right?
just got a very good social media presence now. I swear they didn't have that back in the day. Like, I can watch these clips and I'm like, I kind of know what's happening. I know who's being the asshole. I know who's doing what and who's going to end up with who.
Georgia Harrison is getting absolutely railroaded by the media
No, it's not
right
her.
now. Is
It's
it?
the
Yeah, it
other
is.
Georgia.
That's the one that was like, I'm loyal. That one.
Yeah.
That's Georgia Harrison.
Is that her name?
Yeah, I think so.
I thought that was the other Georgia.
Anyway, she's getting slammed in the media
Because
right
she
now
can't
for
make
being a
up who
dick.
she likes. That's why.
She can't make up her mind.
Anyway,
So
why
she's
are we bringing
dipping-
that up on the pod?
That was just one thing that's annoying me at the moment.
Harrison is Harrison.
Jamie, the next thing on my list is that spilling. We've got to talk about the spilling scenario for yourself, okay?
you write this in after I spilled the coffee?
Every time we come into town, every time, nine times out of 10, we get a coffee on the way into town. Like, yeah, let's get a coffee. Let's, it'd be nice to walk in. 9 times out of the last 10 times you've come into town, you've spilt that coffee on what you're wearing. This time, today, mere hours ago, you spilt coffee all over your brand new Sandro jacket.
I'm looking at him being like, you have a tissue in your hand. And he's like, oh, you want the tissue? And I'm like, yes. And it's there. And he's like, oh. So slow.
I wasn't
and I thought to
fumbling it.
myself, I was like, give me the freaking tissue. I've got this stuff all over me. Yeah, but it's your fault. And also, when we're driving down the road.
Over here could her spilling on herself coffee become my fault. This is my fault. She was standing on the other side of the train, by the way, so I wasn't anywhere near.
I feel really bad for all the listeners here. Can I tell you why? Because they've probably got their own problems at home and they're just listening to ours. Why are you bringing this up? This is you are never producing an episode ever again of this podcast. This is awful.
Do you know what my next comment is?
Do you let me speak?
So next up,
let me speak. You are never producing an episode again because it is literally just like moan at Jamie Day, and people don't want to listen to this. This can't go live. This is awful.
So do you know what my next thing is?
What?
We like happier news now, don't we? We were talking about this earlier.
Oh, really? Oh, brilliant.
Oh, we love having a moan. But having said that, it's whenever you go on like a news website, Daily Mail, any of the Mirror, any of those crap ones, it's all negative.
You know what's so funny?
Nancy, isn't
so
it?
I Googled, why is Daily Mail so negative? And the first thing came up was, fix your mental health with tablets from the Daily Mail. And I'm literally like, they literally have probably boycotted any articles talking about how negative actually the Daily Mail. Barney went on the Daily Mail and he was like, negative. There's not one positive.
For ages.
Not one positive piece of news on the Daily Mail. Isn't that mad that we, as a society, read such negative... What is that doing to our brains?
Yeah. So I have now subscribed to something called The Happy Newspaper. And it is a great website where it just tells you all the positive things that have been happening across the world or across social media. And it's really nice. And one of those things...
I was going to say, give me 3 happy bits.
I have one.
What's the headlines right now?
The main one was about the baby. There was a lady with her...
That's not really news though, is it? Sorry, mate. I don't think that's news. News is like...
Do I get to tell my story?
We recovered from the war in Russia, that kind of thing. That's positive news. Somebody making a beanie for a baby on a plane is not news, let's be honest. It isn't. We need news.
I don't want news. I want positive humanity-related news. Oh, sorry, do you have no signal? Oh, that's a shame, isn't it? Going on your phone, are we? Okay, so it was basically a baby was on a flight with the family, and the baby was staring at this lady that was knitting something. And so the lady decided to end up knitting a hat for the baby. And they gave it to him at the end of the flight, and he wore a hat, and it was cute. There you go, done.
That is not news, Barney Banks.
News.
No, it's not.
It's a nice story.
News is like Charles has recovered from cancer. That's news.
Okay.
But I guarantee you, if he does recover from cancer, Daily Mail won't run it because it's positive news.
Yeah, probably.
Look,
it'd be more like Harry looks angry.
Yeah,
next,
they were like,
Charles.
Harry's jumping on a plane after the dad got the diagnosis. He's probably been by his side the whole time, but you just wouldn't know.
Yeah, Harry comes back to Britain after leaving the royals and hating everyone.
www.positive.news, okay? This is the first media organisation in the world dedicated to quality, independent reporting news. Going right. Now, this is real news, Barney.
Right.
Quality, independent
Wait
news.
for this first article she's about to read. It's going to be like, oh, news about there. Go on then.
First article of the positive news. Again, I find this rubbish. This is why people don't read positive news, because it's not really great. How do you avoid the Valentine's Day Consumer Fest while celebrating love? What?
So the best positive news that you just found was avoiding Valentine's.
That's awful, isn't it? When
you and that's positivenews.com, everyone.
EU emissions, I've nosedived. That's good news. Okay, that's news.
But Vegas's has tripled.
Green energy supercharged China's economy. Brain cancer blood test breakthrough. Dig sustainably for economic victory. And then, last but not least...
Have we become like a political podcast suddenly?
We
don't need to talk about this. This is why I was talking about babies with beanies on.
New rainforests earmarked for England.
Well done. Put your beret on and go tell the news, babe. You should be on the morning show. You should be a presenter. Would you be a presenter if someone gave you the opportunity?
Of course.
Would you do like
I
the
was
news?
a presenter. I did the Head Candy Show.
You were a presenter, were you?
What else would you call that?
Well, I'm trying. You were like doing radio shows, a radio thing, right?
So would you not call that a presenter?
I call it a radio presenter. A presenter
the same thing.
is like a TV presenter.
It's the same thing.
That's not.
You have it in for me
Radio's
today.
different to TV,
you have it
isn't
in
it?
for me today. This title of the podcast needs to be like the day you picked on Jamie episode. It is.
Nice.
I'm going to walk out this podcast. No, because you are never producing a podcast ever again. Because the content inside is shite. This is a really boring subject episode. The poor people are listening to this and they're just thinking, why do I listen to this podcast? It's shite. Sorry, guys, about this. I'm sorry we've wasted half an hour of your life. I tried, and you were like, I'm just going to keep this to myself.
Well, keep what? Because
And I was
you
like,
didn't
okay,
have a phone.
produce.
Do you know why? Because you didn't prep the episode.
I didn't need to because you said you were producing this episode. Here we are. Look, when Barney produces an episode, this is how they come out. It's true.
Okay, well, to round off this fantastic episode, where
Brittany.
Jamie hates Barney,
Brittany.
talk about your best friend and what she's up to at the moment.
I actually don't know because
I saw one thing I asked you to prepare for this episode, and you just said you don't know.
well, I do know.
Okay, go on.
So she's getting a lot. She's basically talking back about Justin Timberlake. Now, I played with Justin Timberlake in Vegas. Okay, so I have the tea. I do. I have the tea.
Oh my God.
And he said some things on stage. Okay, which I think Brittany should know. So Brittany, listen up. Okay. So you ready for this?
Brittany, listen up.
Is it Jared that
It's
runs
Brittany,
these
bitch.
stories, or what's his name? Who's the
Just Jared?
not just Jared? Who's the guy that's like
Chris Olsen?
no Paris Hilton?
Perez Hilton.
Perez
Yeah.
Hilton. Are you ready for this, Perez? Are you ready? So I'm at the Fontainebleau and I'm listening to Justin Timberlake on stage and he is about to sing Cry Me a River. Now, before he does this segment, he says something about Britney. Now, he's done this in future performances and Britney's heard about it. With the Fontainebleau thing, it was very like high-end celebrity guest list. So I'm not sure if it even got out, but I have the tea. This is going to blow. This is going to make this episode.
Who's it going to blow?
No, this episode's going to blow because of this
Blow up.
conversation. Are you ready?
Yeah. Go on, let's spill the tea. What are you doing? Jesus Christ.
He turned around and he went, no offense. That's it.
Thank you so much for listening or watching this episode of the podcast, whichever platform you watch it or listen to it on. If you're watching it, you're on YouTube. If you listen, you're on Spotify or Apple Podcasts or anywhere else. But we love you guys so much. Remember to send your emails to itsthebankses@gmail.com. That's itsthebankses with 2 S's at gmail.com. Jamie's fired, so I'll be here next week with a new special.
I actually think I've got a video of him saying
I forgot
it.
the word
Can I
co-host.
see if I can get the video of
No,
him
because you're
singing
under
it?
NDA. You're not allowed to show that stuff publicly. Love you guys. See you later. Bye.